Welcome back to the podcast. It's podcast Your Network's Net Worth. Did I say that right? No, I didn't. Your Net Worth's network. See, guys, we make mistakes here, but hey, it's all about just getting out there and doing it. My name's Corey McNabb. I'm your host, and this is a networking style podcast where we bring up special guests, we talk about them, talk about their business, just really get to know them and figure out how we can all work together. So, my goal in life is to rise to a place of excellence, and I want to bring you with me. That being said, let's bring up our special guest, Mr. Justin Tuminowski. What's up,
Yeah.
Justin?
What up, dog? What up, Corey?
How's it going, man?
Bro, thank you for allowing me to be here. I had the pleasure of getting you first. So you're my first love first. All right. My first. But no, bro, thank you for allowing me to be here, honestly.
No, I really
And
appreciate it.
doing the community thing that I still like you pioneered, you're doing your thing, like taking it on yourself. And even to like the first video that's on your YouTube and like just kind of failing forward, doing whatever, like, bro, that's it. So you're leading by example. So anyone listening, just freaking do the thing.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, like I just told Justin before this, I don't edit.
Yeah.
So you get what you get.
That's it. Run it.
But so for those who are just jumping on and maybe have, which I don't know how, but don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, dude. No one, I don't think many people do, but I would say, so my name is Justin Tuminowski. I am a real estate investor, electrician, blue collar. Gosh, the things are stacking up as I guess I will call them accolades or just job descriptions, but I'm over in the New England market. So for those who don't know, because I also hear like, where's New England? Think of Boston, right? Think of Boston. Everyone knows where Boston is. And that's my little playground. And it's all in that little area. So all those states that are right there, those little states. So landlord, real estate investor, creative investor, fix and flips. We do it all. I have a team. So we do inside the Subto community. That's where we know each other. And we're an acquisition business. So I started there, doing fix and flips on my own, acquisition. Now it's led into the creative finance wormhole of deal flow, doing deals with people, community, loving on each other, making money together. The things you're promoting and the things that we both learned, I think, or
Mhm.
accelerated here together. That's what I'm also doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you had already gotten into real estate before you got into the creative side?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm at year 10. So it was like 23 to 24 is when I did my first flip. Excuse me, 2013, 2014. Obviously, we were 23, 24. And I was looking back the other day or a couple months ago, I was like, oh, dang, I think it's 10 years now. And where the natural progression of blue collar, um, electrician, licensed business owner at the time, partnership at the time, electrical dude and I were like, we're going to go conquer the world. And this dude I went into partnership with, one of my best friends at the time. And my best friend at the time, dude, we went from every job we had together since we were 13 years old. And then we went from 13 to just like washing dishes to helping out, picking up job site construction, all the things in between, cleaning offices when we were in like high school at night, cleaning offices and office buildings. And then, again, still construction on the background, weekends, helping his uncle or whoever else, and getting out of school, going right into electrical, get electrical license, then realizing I'm working on these beautiful homes, these beautiful additions. These people are not here. Where are they? They're on vacation. So wealth is around me, but it's not within me, right? It's not near me. But I'm looking at it and going, I know there's got to be something to this. And this is the day in like that limbo of like DVDs, no tapes, CDs, maybe there's books on audiobooks somewhere. Hell, I wasn't going to read. I never read when I was younger. So I was like, somewhere down the line, I found out that you got to like read some books and educate yourself. And then I realized like, oh, I don't mind doing these things with materials that I freaking want to listen to or I want to read. So you pick up a book or two, and then I think podcasts just started coming out somewhere in there. I can't remember. I just learned that you need to go read, the Purple Book of Robert Kiyosaki and Rich Dad Poor Dad. And also going, at that same time, I had met someone, and I tell this story a little bit, but it was a girl that I had met at work, and she's like, "Hey, my switch does not work in my kitchen. Can you come? Like, can you look at it for me?" And I was like, "Of course, she's beautiful." I'm like, "Absolutely, I will fix this switch for you. I will gladly come over." And I come over there, and I remember where it was, and I walk in, and I'm like, "Oh, cool." It's like a townhome, brick townhome amongst many townhomes. And so I'm gonna make sure that's my do not disturb is on. So, yeah, I ended up going in, fixing the switch, and I'm talking to her. I'm like literally taking the plate off, taking the screws off to set them down, pop the switch off, and she's talking. I'm like, "Oh, so yeah." She's like, "My father owns this." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Your father owns this house, like, this townhome, whatever." And then, like, secret first thought was like, "Oh, how sweet is that? Daddy get you an apartment. You don't even have to pay for it." So that was one. But okay, I'm just in my mind, still thinking she's cute though. And I'm digging it. She's like, "No, he owns the entire complex." Bro, there's like 60 freaking townhomes in this place. And this is not a cheap town that I'm in right now. It's called North Andover, Massachusetts. And the next town over is Andover. That is like, the Bruins live there. Anyone like the big dogs would live there. Millions and millions of dollars homes. So I'm like, "Oh, like this is not cheap. Like your father owning this is insane." But what I think the light bulb moment for me with that was like, shit, like this is possible. Like, how did that happen? I don't know. I've never even realized that. Yeah, sure, people own buildings,
Mhm.
but it's not really an individual. It was always, you're always thinking some corporation or something. So again, just to reflect back where your mindset is when you have zero idea, when you're just existing, you're working, you're just trying to grind it out and make couple dollars. Now you're realizing like people have a significant amount of wealth and it's tied to real estate. That was the moment I was like, I got to figure this one out. And then it was like, well, I got hands. These make me a lot of money. I'm good with what I do with my hands. So let's go for fix and flip. And I think the days of no, I'm gonna probably date myself, but my wife and I geek out about this. His name was Armando Montalongo, and I say it like that. He was one of the first fix and flippers on TV. And bro, I was freaking drawn to him. And I would watch that show and be like, I know I can do that. I know I can do it. I know I can do it. I just need some money. That was like really what everyone else says. Like, I just need to get the money. And that was one of the hardest parts, but we overcame it when that challenge came in 2013 and I bought my first foreclosure. That was it. But leading up to it was pretty dope to like I remember those little like scenarios and that you have to want more. And I think is it what do they say? Like the mother of invention is necessity or necessity is the mother of all inventions. Like sometimes when the chips are down, bro, and you guys there's no one else, I don't have mommy and daddy to go to. So figure it out or be a piss poor complainer like everybody else. You know?
So, okay, that was amazing. I loved hearing that. Um, but I wanna ask and if there wasn't one, I wanna know that too, but what was that drive that really got you to, you know what, I'm gonna move on from well, at this time you said you were a business owner, or were you still working for someone?
Yeah. So actually, like, bro, I always tell everybody this. It's confusing for folks to listen. I have like 3 jobs at the same time. I've always worked. And I say work, I worked, bro. I sleep 4 hours, 5 hours a day. I'm usually majority of those I'm working. And I shit you not. Like that's straight up. Ask any of my wife, everybody. They have to pull me away and be like, yo, you need to be here for a minute. But I've always been like that because I just probably a lack of abundance, right? So always like a fear of the fallout, like not having enough has been I think my like that's the trauma, right? Not having enough.
Mhm.
But with that, I've resolved that with just being an animal at work. Um, but the question to answer your question is, what was the drive, I guess? Is that really what you're saying? And it's
Yeah, what got you to, I guess, go from
Oh, business owner. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
following the system to building your own path?
Yeah, and I think that's just like I need to make more money. So I know like I have had W-2s, got my electrical license through W-2, one of the bigger, probably one of the best in the state of Massachusetts. We were making great money, prevailing wage, which is anyone knows it's like union, but you don't have to pay all the union dues. Um, so making great money, but then going, all right, like again, I'm after the day's over, like where else? I gotta go make some more money. I gotta go do something else. So I was like, let's go do some side jobs and side work. And then you start your friends and family and people want you to fix the light switch at Diana's house. Shout out Diana. I haven't talked to you in like 20 years. Um, her name just came to me too. Um, and bro, like not having enough, I think is really what it came down to. It was like, so my boy that was with me, now he came from better pastures, but same thing, like I was the pusher in our relationship. And I think that's the one thing I've recently found out. I was like, oh, I've always been the aggressor. And it's just whoever is gonna come with me, bro, let's go together. Let's hold hands and skip down the street. I'm just gonna tell us where we're gonna go. I will have the vision for us to go. And so for the gentleman that I was best friend for childhood and stuff that we did it together, it was like I go like, "Let's start a business." I found I have someone who actually wants to hire us like a full-time company, but it's all like literally it's part-time work, full-time. So we had multiple jobs, put it that way. After the day's over at 2:30, because we got in early at 5 AM or whatever, and wherever we were in Boston or somewhere, we lined up jobs afterwards. And then that might go until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night by the time I get home. And that was rinse and repeat 7 days a week, 7 days a week. And then we would take all that money and just buy shit, buy deals, buy whatever. Um, and that was like the way to do it, I guess. Looking back, it's stupid. Like, but there's obviously you don't know what you don't know. And hopefully like people now listen to your podcast, right? And they're going to listen to this and say, you do not need to work like an idiot all these hours. And then I've ruined relationships, I've ruined friendships, I've ruined all sorts of shit because of that, because businesses always come first. And yeah, now that we have private money lenders and we know how to work smarter, not harder, uh, you got to have that healthy blend, you know?
See, that's kind of where I'm at. And because like I had told you, we just got back from Chattanooga, and I was spending time with family. And I, me and my wife, we both think not only do we have a happy marriage, we actually believe we have a very happy marriage.
Oh, good.
Um, I kind of feel I'm so far on the other side of it. Like I've got the relationship, I've got all that down, that it's hard for me to go out and focus solely on the business, because I'm like, well, hang on, I got to spend time here. And so now I'm in that other transition, which I think a lot of people go the other way, like you had done. You were full solely business, and maybe now you're backing off to be spend more time with family. I feel
Yep.
like I've got to do the opposite. So it's just it's always interesting to me.
That is interesting to hear. Again, that is a different perspective that I haven't been exposed to so much. Now
Mhm.
I got friends, we don't talk about it, right? Or if like anyone else that I don't talk about it. So thank you for saying that because it literally is like you and I walking on a sidewalk and I'm envisioning this and we're passing each other on a way and you're going into the fire. So thank you for being a firefighter, by the way. And you're going into the fire and I'm actually like, I just left, like we're just high-fiving, tag up, you're in for the round 2. Another company's here,
Yeah.
you know? But it is definitely an interesting perspective because although I do have the work ethic and all that, like the timing, like literally 5 AM to 10 PM, and I remember like the the dinner's on the table with tinfoil on it, like, "Here you go, like, whatever's in it, I'm just gonna whiff probably cold, obviously, I'm just gonna throw it in my gullet and, wash up and go to bed and rinse and repeat." But, of course, there was little weeks here and there, and we would do things, but you have to work. And I think now it is I get to work from home, so I left my W-2, like, gosh, 2020-ish, 2021. So no more, but still you work harder on your own business, of course. But now it's definitely like I'm home. I was never home. I had little girls, and that was tough. And I knew started to realize you start to mature. I'm 39 years old, so it's a couple years ago. Still, I was like full speed, and now you go, all right, you got to cool it. But last thing I'll say is shout out to Pace Morby. I mean, I owe that guy everything. I literally get an example of a man to aspire to, right? So when you don't have any of that, really, you just do the thing you know how to do. Try to treat people with respect and then go to work. But really, there's a human nature side of that too, and you become desensitized to it. And then I don't really talk about this too much, but that's really like you ask my wife now, she's like, "Oh yeah, that woman dealt with a lot." And now it's like, "Shit, you're always home now. Get out of here." Like, get out. Like, and she jokes that she's like, "I freaking get what I wished for." Anytime she would say something, I just go, "Okay." And she's like, "I asked for that. I asked you to be home. I was praying you would be home. And my wish came true." And she's like, "Now you just won't shut up and leave me alone." Half joking. But yeah, dude.
No, that's a big thing. Like when I got into the fire department, that's actually they pulled us in and the families in to do like a orientation. Like, hey, you guys are joining the fire department. This is kind of how life is because I work for 24 hours and then I'm home for 2 days. So one of the things they did is they had one of the captains or chiefs or I don't remember who it was, but their wife come in and talk to the wives. And that's one thing she kept saying. She's like, I always wish he's home. And then he gets home and I'm like, oh my God, go back. Like, so, but my wife, I love my wife and she's never been that way. I've been
Yeah.
in this 5 years and she's like, I dread you leaving.
Yeah.
And
That
so I don't
bond.
know. That's, I mean, this isn't about me, but like,
No,
it's
that
just
bond is
interesting.
special.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. Because until you actually was telling your story, I didn't realize that I had the opposite situation where I've got that relationship, but now I'm trying to push more towards being a business owner and how I've got to sacrifice time from them in a sense. I mean, I know it has to be done in order to focus on my business.
Yeah, there's a guilty. I mean, and I do it again. Thank you for bringing that up. And I think that is such a cool. I think what we just went through is really cool to go through because, again, I feel guilty being in the office still. But I'm at home, right? And my kids come in and out of the office most time. This is my other office, and this is where I have my private space, my private time, where no one can interrupt me unless they come here. Um, but I chose to also have that additional layer but I'm only here like twice a week, couple hours a week, just for the recordings and just for certain activities. But what I wanted to say is, I feel guilty when they come in and I'm on a Zoom or something. And I heard Grant Cardone say one time, he's like, "I'll never walk in the house on my cell phone." And I was like, damn, that's good. Because he's like, or I'll never tell my kid, wait 1 minute when they come in my office. Now I'm still guilty of that and I'm working on that because of the Zooms and like people are paying for our time inside of the community and Pace has me coaching in there and it's not my private coaching. It's I don't have that. It's Subto coaching. So I feel a sense of responsibility. I am working.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's when I come in the house, it's rarely I'm trying to be on the phone. And for that one reason of like, I envision like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you come in and like, dad, look at me. Look at what I did today. Look at my, finger paint, whatever. And I can envision like you're flicking them off. Right. I know that's not what you're doing, but I'm saying like, I can see when Grant was talking about that. So that was a little thing, a little nugget I took away that, little things you implement and try to manipulate and change. And now for you, I understand that, that's a struggle, bro. You are literally now like bonded with individuals and expectations and what we do on the weekends and our nights and our movie nights and our whatever Chattanooga trips and birthdays to now daddy's working for the fire department. And then it's like, does he not like, why is he always gone? Why is he always working? Or, You know what I mean? Like, that is going to be a different dynamic,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's showing the kids what you do, and I don't have all the answers, but the one thing I am very, very confident in is my little girl, she's my oldest, she's 8, almost 8. She's like, "I'm gonna take over daddy. I'm taking over daddy's work when I'm older, and Sissy, her sister, you're gonna work for me." And she's like, and when we drive around, she's like, "Daddy, there's a crap house." We call them crap houses. And it's cute, it's funny, and, like, when they're in the back seat, bro, this was, like, the last couple of years, and they're in their car seat. She's like, "Dad, that's a crap house." But now I get to, like, talk in depth now that they understand a little bit deeper when someone's outside, and I'm like, "Honey, we don't wanna say that out loud, and or, like, there's a reason why, and you're very blessed, you have these things, and we're sitting here," and we try to, like, show them the humanity side of this and that we are in the people business. We are going to these houses and these rentals and these short terms and furnishings, and we travel to our homes and these places that we have investments, and I'm like, "You have to understand, please, that this is a privilege, we are honored, like, it's hard work to get mom and dad did to get here. Please do not diminish this." Like, so, like, that's the one thing now that I'm working on.
Hmm.
You can go fucking run the marathon 1,000 miles an hour. Great. You get all this stuff. Great. When you raise a couple dickheads, that is what I don't want. So that is now like the ultra focus is because I didn't come from that, but I know that this can transpire into that. So I'll stop right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, we had our oldest in June of 2020. So right after everything shut down, and then there, no. What was interesting is this is a little side note. Where we chose to live, we chose so because it was within a short drive from both my mom and her mom. Right, so we're like, great, grandparents come hang out, all this stuff. But she was born in 2020, and nobody wanted to go anywhere. They were all like, my mom showed up with a hazmat suit within the first week.
Yo, you got that list? You got not the Listerine. You got that Purell?
And we told her, like, we're not letting anyone actually hold the baby until after, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
First week, she showed up in a hazmat suit. And we're like, no, like, we we said no. And she got mad, and we didn't see her since. Well, we've seen her, but it's
Yeah.
like the help we thought we were gonna get. I don't know if it's just our family or if it's because of the time it happened. We don't get that help. And
Yeah.
so there's because it was just us, and my wife had a bunch of stuff that she had to deal with
Mhm.
afterwards.
Yep.
And she's super research heavy. That's how she learns, and so she dove into all these resources and books and all this stuff, and ended up fixing all her issues and setting it up so that pretty much since 4 months on, I'd say it was 4 months on for our oldest, um, our kids sleep through the night, like
So good.
100%. They go to bed at 7, they wake up at 7. That's it. Um, so now, luckily, what we found is that our youngest watches our oldest, and it's picking up things quicker. So, I mean, she started sleeping through the night, I think, from like 2 months on or something like that. But
So, aren't women so powerful though? Like, legit, like, she was woman hear me roar, went and did research and read the books and said, like, controlled she could have just went and drank and did Netflix and, what else were we doing? We were eating a lot, we were, buying all sorts of random shit, everyone else was. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, what they think of COVID life, right? Sure, we probably indulged and did all those things too a little bit, but she took that time to, like, dial it in.
oh yeah,
So yeah, shout out to your wife for that.
yeah.
So
Um,
now she set you guys up now. You guys are set up, like the basics, like, not even the basics though, like, the not even how do I wanna put, like, the foundation of the children. Bro, that's pivotal. You should be super proud of that.
oh, I am, and like we're still learning as we go. So there's we were actually just listening to a Jordan Peterson podcast. He was interviewing, I cannot remember her name, but she's known as the strictest headmistress in the UK. And
The Gordon Ramsay of
yeah, pretty much. But one of the things, like, she said a number of things, and as she's saying them, I'm like, we do this. Like that, I thought this was just common sense. This is, and the whole, basically, she goes as far as saying that when your kid's 4, they don't get a choice of what they wear. They don't get a choice of what they eat. Right? They have to fall in line within the family boundaries, and then once they are there, that's when their creativity can thrive. Right?
Mhm.
Freedom, surprisingly enough, freedom comes from restriction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
uh,
That's powerful then.
yeah. So that's like, after hearing that, now we're like, okay, we are doing something right. This is how we're gonna keep doing it. And I mean, we're not like overly strict,
Mhm.
right? But we do have, and it annoys our parents, their grandparents, because they'll try and be like, hey, let's have them at this time. We're like, no, we've told you nap time is from 12 to 2.
Yeah.
We're not budging on that. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going to wake them up early. They need that one. We need that time, but
Yeah.
they need that time as well. And they go to bed at a certain time. They know when we're sitting down to eat. One, we sit down as a family, sit
Mhm.
down to eat, and it's time to eat. If you don't eat by the time, like, we actually give them 45 minutes for lunch and dinner. You got
Mhm.
45 minutes. Whatever you eat is what you eat. If you don't eat anymore, like, you're gonna be hungry.
There's some water to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's just, I don't know, but
Yeah. Discipline,
it's
values, core values, discipline, rich structure. So you're setting it up to and it's the expectations, I'm sure, not to interrupt you, but it was like now I can see where it's like, here's what I'm going to do. Here's I'm going to go challenge. Dad's doing, going to go to work, do this, but also we just bought this house and we're doing this investment and this is between the hours of that and this is what you can expect. And dad will be here for Saturday and we're going to go to the fair on Saturday and we're going to do a family trip and no one's going to interrupt that, and
yeah.
it's just going to you're just going to, I'm sure your wife will probably has a big hand in that. Is like your wife's just going to almost like, here you go, honey. This is what we got to do. And then she's like, all right, got it. Fit it into the life,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think that's the biggest thing, is trying to, because we've got that structure and now I'm trying to add to it and
Yeah.
see how we can rework it. So that's the main thing.
You're going to have to work on all of them, the whole family, it's a whole family dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to say like, last thing I'll touch on that is we have a little bit, I keep hearing my wife say this. I can hear it right now. And she's like, oh yeah, we're raising free range chickens. And it's the structure and all the good things. But I go, some of the things we have to just, it's free range. We're going for it. We're gonna stay up and we showed up to one of our houses. There's a house we have in Naples. It's a creative finance deal subject to hell of a deal, like the battle and the deal. But that's not the point. The point is I went there once prior, did some renovations, did some things. My partner and I went there. And then one day my wife's like, we gotta go. I have to go there. And she's like, we'll go with you. We're gonna go as a family trip. We turn business into work as well, vacation as well. And that's how we hybrid. And bro, we showed up and I go, there's no furniture here, guys. Just so you know, I got 2 air mattresses. The sheets are clean, and the furniture's coming like starting tomorrow. And we rock and rolled. And like I was like, this is what I thrive and love on is showing that no, we're not going down to Disney. No, we're not going to the hotel. No, we're not. We're gonna slumber party in a freaking bedroom all together. We're gonna order out and we're gonna then put this house together. And the kids are gonna have fun at the same time too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, those are my free range chickens,
Nice. I like
but
that.
so good.
So what, real quick, guys, if you didn't know, like, this is typically just about, I mean, whatever Justin wants to talk about. I do want to get to your real estate business, kind of see how you have things structured, what it is you focus on. But this was a nice surprise. We got talking about relationships and work, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Thank you for sharing, you did that personal stuff because it's actually really helpful.
Awesome. So that being said, Justin, I know, I believe, well, I say I know, but I'm pretty sure you're a regional leader, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Within
actually, I
Subto.
have it on today. I actually interviewed one of my local leaders, but New England. So again, New England up in Boston, and yeah, stumbled upon that. Some great people that were before me that I was just out on the back wings, hanging out, help supporting them, and then eventually those people were like, "Dude, you got to get in here! Like, enough of like sitting on the sidelines supporting us, doing it already." So, yeah, I stepped in, I don't know, 2 years ago, a year or 2 ago, as like I was
Gotcha.
there. I was like, I came in as like in the sub 2 community, New England region as like, they would come to me with like problems and high level things, but that was it. And if there was a squabble, it's actually, that's why we're pretty unique up there as well as we handle things differently. Um, it's a family, it's local leaders. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's, sub 2 community has the local regions. So, you got a California, or North California, Southern, that's a little bit different, but like Arizona, Florida, all these regions have almost state by state. Some of the rural Midwest, and some other areas, they'll combine them together, just like New England. New England's 6 states, New York and stuff, and Pennsylvania, they have their own. New Jersey, it's the Northeast. But we ended up like hearing it like almost like a government, right? So it's like you got some regional leadership, but then like we want to elevate and bring local leaders too, who are like coming up through the ranks, been in for a year or so, are doing deals to then help the community even more. So we can thrive and go out and do the higher level things we should be doing and we're taught to be doing. But then I'm able to push up too on some of the behind them to push them up and elevate them into bigger and better roles. And it's just structured and tiered. But the point of my story was I was just chilling on the backside, like I'm not asking to be in here and I don't want to be here. Like I'm just naturally, I'm kind of provide as much value as I can for the community. And so they started bringing me like squabbles and problems and like, hey, this person may have done this a little bit of paperwork and stuff. Like, what should we do? And so we'd come in almost like a judge jury, and I'd just try to like help settle some all business dealings and stuff that we're all working through. And then my long story short is like now I'm local leadership, but that's now I feel like I'm phasing out and I'm sad about that. Like I didn't know that would come.
Hmm.
It's becoming overwhelming. Like now it's like shit. I told Pace the other day, I'm like, bro, I might have to get out of the regional stuff because I just can't I can't perform. He's like, it's about time. It's about time. And I was like, shit, that's not the answer I was looking for. But yeah,
Wow.
that you asked me one little question, I gave you that 5-minute response.
No, I love it. Um, I definitely want to ask like what it is about. Well, shoot, I might as well. Um, you say you feel like you're phasing out of that. Is that because more people are stepping up to the plate, or are you just not able to, or do you have so much going on that you're past that point?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I just got saved. I say I just got saved, and I shouldn't say that so much. There's a couple that just came in, and it was a breath of fresh air because we were a little stale for a little while. Where we were trying to promote and things we're asking people to do, and the product that I bought into, but it's really a mentality and a way of life that it naturally aligned with me as giving and just serving and leading is all the things that Sub 2 is provides 1000%. That's why I'm thriving here is because it's genuinely in my DNA. I was raised by 5 women. So, like, super easy for me. But I had a new couple that just came in, and I was like, "Thank goodness." It literally is I just told I interviewed him today that he was on the Get Creative podcast for Pace's podcast, and I go, "Bro, I feel like this is like you and your wife are like me and my wife." And I go, "Damn, this feels old." I'm gonna say this. I'm like, "I could see myself in you, you guys." I'm like, "Shit, I'm old." Like they're not that much younger than me, um, But it is, I'm like, damn, I can see it. And I was happy to have that. And now I that's why I maybe the trigger seeing that is now giving me a little bit of a release of I can probably start to step back a little bit with some good people now that they understand what's happening. Now, Ari Giorelli, he's from Connecticut. He is a regional. He's not well out there. He did come to the golden ticket that you were at and that I was at last, I don't know, was it February or something we were out in Arizona?
Yeah.
Um, Ari was like his first time out in Arizona. So I'm getting people like trying to get him in the fire a little bit deeper. And it's hard for some folks. But he stepped up too majorly. So now it's like, yeah, try to build the foundation blocks back up again to try to get some higher level people who are giving and not just there to like there's some people in there that just want to they won't let it up because they don't want to like the last thing they have to lose. So I'm trying to like fix that. But other than that, yeah, dude, I think I can't give everyone the attention it needs. I can't give it the attention it needs. So I don't know what that looks like. It's such a stupid, silly problem, but there is a void of like, I want to be accountable to these people. I still want my hand in this New England because I still care about it. It's almost like local government. I don't know what these people do. That's probably why these old timers just freaking sit in these town offices and give me zoning problems. They don't want to give me my multifamily designations because they're like, oh, we don't want to grow. That's like me. Like the old dude just wanted to like hang on to make sure we're good because it's got a good reputation and a lot of good people in it. Um, but again, I'll
Yeah.
shorten the answer there.
No, that's good. So, and again, like I don't have a set plan for these questions. So I'm just
Yeah.
picking off things that you're saying. So you mentioned multifamily designation. So is that what you're growing into, or have you been in multifamily space? I guess my main question is, what is your business model right now?
Yeah. So it's pretty dynamic. So myself and a few other partners, like community members, Andrew Murray, Ted Miller, and a few others. We have a direct to seller, direct to agent acquisition business, right? So, and that's where I started too. Like after I started doing the flips, it became a natural progression to go, oh, I need to hold these now. So I started doing the Burr method. So I learned the Burr method, right? Way before creative finance. And again, you go, if I can fix and flip, I'm not selling it. The only thing I'm going for is just a fix and flip, but I'm just going to keep it and refinance it. I just need to make sure that the values are there. So I that's where the multifamily started to come in. The landlord going, aha, all right, I need people to pay me rent so I can eventually be financially free and whatever that looks like. So yeah, dude, the Burr. That's where I like. Then I started doing Burr. And like my partner at that time, I'm going backwards again, but sort of finish to present day, it was like Burr was like the thing we did. And we just started freakishly doing these insane New England rehabs, which anyone who knows New England's old as shit. It's like 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s. Y'all out there with their 1993 builds calling them old can kiss my ass. People go like this. They're like, yo, Tuminowski, I got a 1985 build, brand new for you. I'm like, yes. So, but no, to not make fun of it, we'll take these old 1900s properties. I just bought a couple. The one I'm in is 18 right now. My office in 1860s is where I tracked it down to fourplex. Um, and yeah, I would just go in and renovate them, and I became a landlord and start buying them, renovating them, keeping them, buying them, renovating them, keep them, rent them. Now it's like different strategies. I'll put a midterm in, short term, long term, and we're diversifying that way. And I know you didn't ask that, but that was the progression. Now we do everything. So now I have a team that we do acquisitions on. And now it's all the creative strategies, a wholesale business essentially, but it's not even that much wholesale. It's like a lot of wraps and creative deals. And we got really freaking good at creative. We've taught some of the rap series and stuff. So um, shout out to like everyone knowing their stuff inside of our little community and our business, which has allowed me to continue my path of, we can have that business going, but at the same time, I got to start doing bigger deals. We're trying to get more multifamilies. And so I took a pause. We focused on the business. Then it was some fix and flips. And now we have fix and flips. I found out not me anymore doing them. I can be there. I can find them. We can underwrite them. We can do them. I just don't swing the hammer, which is cool. Again, I'd probably be swinging the hammer right now if it wasn't for Subto, right? Like I'd be doing the hard labor one at a time, two at a time. But now it's turned into like I get to now, again, watch by examples out there. So many good positive role models that we have, and so many people at a higher level than we are. And you go, oh, I don't have to do that, but I can find it. I can bring the money in. I can bring the team together. Let's do that. And so that's sort of where I'm getting really good at now, is like the vision's still there. I got the visions, the designs, like where we can go. That is amplified. It's now learning the business and how to delegate and those hard personal traits and the things that we have to unfuck, excuse my language, right? And that was like the hardest part, and it's still work. We're still doing it. But it's a multifaceted business where now it's just different channels and it's not all the same partners. That's the other cool thing. Again, community. We're taught this community thing, and that's freaking awesome because it aligns with me. Always wanted to be with people and do things with people and elevate people and make money together. And that was a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, but it's like, just try to do the best business you can. Not everyone's going to be happy, but do the good business and now just keep elevating. So I guess I'll just say this, like fast forward, it's, now before it was like a couple fix and flips, maybe a couple deals, wholesales, wraps, things, and then maybe like a burr. All of a sudden, put some more, the people that were already around me, like for instance, Jeremy Stanley is my plumber, who's now in Subto, who's local to me, plumbed this place, plumbed all my burrs, like freaking 12 of them. He's like, one day, it was a couple years ago, I own the house next door as well here. It's another multifamily. And I'm on the wall drawing with a Sharpie because he's like, bro, how the hell are you doing this? And I had just got in like Subto probably. And I was like, well, here you go. And I was like literally writing on the wall with a Sharpie. And I'm like, you got anywhere to be right now? Cause like, I don't. But he's like, nah, bro, I'm good. I own this, he owned the company, and we went through it, and then he would see it. And now we just bought like, I don't even know, like $3-4 million worth of deals. We just bought a church building. We're turning into a 12 unit. We just bought a couple more burrs, and he's like, load me up. So we're doing 2 big fix and flips right now, a burr and a freaking church building. That's going to be like a 12 unit boutique hotel. And I'm like, all right, I think that's good for now. I don't want to overload you. Time out. He's like, come on, bring more. Anyway, I have a seller appointment like Saturday, and he's here on Saturday, and it's a local multifamily owner. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know. Can we take this one on? It's like, bring it. We'll do whatever we can to do. Like, that's the attitude I need. Tell me it's going to be okay, and we're going to go, it's okay.
Okay.
But confidently tell me it's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just went like.
No, I love it. Because actually, like, just hearing that story, and I hope this has happened for somebody else who's watching this, but just hearing that story, I know that I need to be more persistent and checking in with you, because it sounds like you're doing what I want to do. So like, I'm starting to get out there and market and say that, hey, I'm buying multifamily. Initially, I was looking 2 to 10 units, but then I attended Vina Jetty's multi-fi event in Atlanta, and now I'm like, why just 10 units? Now let's go 2 to 30 units. Let's expand that a little bit. And so, like, there are little keywords that you've said that I'm like, oh, that's how I want to be doing it. And that, because that's one of the things that drew me to Pace, is just hearing, his seller appointments, him going out and actually face to face, which I think would be awesome. I haven't done it yet, but that's something I'm working towards, is actually getting out there and setting up these appointments, going out and talking to people. But of course, I love to overthink. So hearing you say, you've got a seller appointment, you've got, for multifamily, and like, I didn't even consider
Bro,
in-person
bro,
seller appointments for multifamily.
that's it. You're a likable guy. You're a true guy. You're gonna show up. Bro, we slay seller appointments. And it's not that the best deals come from seller appointments. I 100% they all have come from in person. Sure, you get a 10, 20, $30,000 deal, whatever it is, right? I don't care what it is. The best deals, in my opinion, have all come from this. Know it, like it, touch it, trust it, taste it, spit it, hug it, whatever you wanna do. The best deals have all in our business. That's I can only speak for me, but also, like, New Englanders, they're like, Yo, we ain't doing anything until you get here. Like, I need a sniff test." And there's a lot of that, and it's also being able to talk shop. And I rudely interrupted you, but had to just be like, "Bro, they're out there so good."
Yeah. No, I love it. And there's a little bit like, I'm sure there's a slight cultural difference, right? New
Sure,
England versus Southeast, you know.
sure.
Um, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but
You
I
know, mm, if you could talk shop, like, think about what I have. Let me just give you what I have, and we've already, like, and I've seen, like, so my buddy Ted is in, Durham, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina.
mhm,
You got Andrew who's in Jersey, so a little bit up here, but it's still those are guys that are hard too. But a lot of it is like, let's say senior owners, a lot of older generation that are like phasing out of these old ass like multifamilies, small multifamily. They want to pass it on to someone who's trustful, but also like trustful, who's going to take care of them, take care of it, not some like young kid fly by night who they've probably dealt with a few times, which I actually know they have. But really, it's when my buddy Ted when Ted was there for one of the biggest deals we've ever had, he goes, "Holy," he came we were in the truck after we're done, he's like, "Holy shit, I get it now." He goes, "These freaking guys, the switch I saw you turn on with the blue collar, and if they're blue collar and I because listen, I was raised by my grandfather. Blue collar, that's where I got that's where I learned these was my grandfather. I still talk to him we still talk the same way I did when I was 7, 6, 5. Like, I speak his language. I know what they're looking for. I know what he wants, but it's not even a conscious thing. It's probably how the equivalent of like how and I hate to say pace because I'm not in the same category, but how natural things come like that to him. This one thing comes natural to me. Like, I'm gonna take that little thing on my seller appointments, but it has to be the right recipe.
gotcha.
But it's senior owners here. So whatever you have down there, a majority of, that's probably the one that gets the most alignment,
Okay.
you know? I don't know. But you're a firefighter, bro. You're like that blue collar stuff style too. And not saying that you need to align with that, but I'm like, you have the ability to probably be a chameleon because you deal with all sorts of shit probably on the reg, and you have to identify or adapt and ch bite my tongue here, get aggressive here, man up here. So you have that ability to probably be a chameleon and or learn how to be a chameleon even better for what you need, but it's like, bro, you show up, it's like, I'm a firefighter. I'm just doing I wanna buy this small multifamily. I'd be like, "Where do I sign? How do I get you and your cute family ahead?" Seriously. That's a lot of it. These people
Okay.
just wanna, they wanna pass the torch. Their kids are dickheads. Their kids are what we don't want. They're waiting for them to die to take it half the time. And we show up and it's like, dang, I'm gonna give this to someone who actually loves this property, who actually and now that's my flaw. My thing is like, I literally fall in love with these houses and these buildings. Not saying everyone has to, but it's like, that's they see it, they know it. The guy who just left a little while ago, CJ on my team, he actually lives in this property. The lady goes to him, "Wow, I can tell you're really passionate about this business." 'Cause we freaking love these houses. We love what we do. So that's a lot of it, bro. Go in front of people. Go in front of them. I guarantee you're gonna slay it. There's no agenda. sure, you're gonna get these people who, and then this is where Steve Train came in on some trainings. Pace's, well, friend in a sales training is like, I used to go and be like, oh, I'm gonna leave the contract right here. Cool. We said 250, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's look it over and I'll call you tomorrow. And like, then there's a 50-50 shot or 30% shot that I would get that contract because I walked away.
Mhm.
But now it's a deeper rapport building where you ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. It's if you go somewhere, there's just I don't know, it's rare. It's rare. So, but there is those the folks that might be, they're just looking to shop you. They don't care, and you'll know that. You should know that eventually. Again, I'll pause there, but I recommend, bro, just go in front of these people.
All right. I really appreciate it. Definitely giving me something to think about, and I hope somebody watching this is inspired just as much as I am.
Bro, I took you got me like 3 questions. I just rattled on for like 20 minutes each.
Good. I love it. I love it. That's actually something I've learned recently is that one of the best ways to be a conversationalist is to shut up.
Yeah, to let the other
Yeah.
person talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I know I don't want to keep you too long because I know you're a busy guy. So if you don't, unless you got something else you want to say, we'll just jump on to the next part of the podcast.
Bro, let's keep going. I'm here to serve. I'm here to do the thing. I love it.
All right. Um, so I just have a few questions that I normally ask at each podcast. First off, what made you want to be on the podcast today?
Bro, now getting to know you and see you, and you came on the Get Creative, 1000%. I'm not hesitating to come on yours. And I'm aspiring to do my own podcast. So thank you for letting me like witness and learn from you too. So yeah, I'm selfishly here because I want to learn
Awesome.
more, and I want to meet more people.
That's fantastic. That's the whole reason I started this is, initially it was actually I got to shout out Alexis Morgan. She's the one
Yeah.
who kind of she actually I was at a Gator meetup because before I joined Subto I was in Gator and I was asking her questions about how best to get started and some of the things I was dealing with. And she, after hearing a little bit about me, she goes, "You need to be a connector."
Yeah.
It's like that's what you need to do. I was like, okay. And I'd heard some people talk about connecting. I was like, how can I make this mine and do it my way? And I was like, podcast. I'll do a podcast.
So good. And
Best
then
way to
do
do
like
it.
a little homework, probably like a little Excel sheet or something, a little CRM with
Yeah.
like what people have and need. That's so smart.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still figuring it out, obviously.
Dude,
Um,
love it.
but yeah, so um, I know a little bit about what you do now, um, and I feel like you might know a little bit about what I do. Maybe not enough, but I still got to ask, why aren't we doing business together?
That's what I'm saying. Now there needs to be a multifamily down, and now if whether or not, because you're Georgia, right?
Yes, but I'm looking now in Chattanooga, Georgia,
Yeah.
and Florida.
Yeah. So, um, 100% I want to do deals with people, or even, you know, figuring out how to get everybody involved. That's the biggest thing. So let's do some freaking deals. And anyone listening, let's get, you got a seller appointment somewhere? Let's get this man on a seller appointment. All right. And small multifamily. And let's structure some deals. Let's get some money in there. We'll bring all the whole gamut and we'll do business together 100%.
Awesome, sweet. I really appreciate you saying that. It makes me feel good, and that's why I like talking with you and other people. Like I don't know, there's just so many opportunities seem to appear just by having a conversation.
Well, yeah, because then now there's like people think they go, well, yeah, I have this, and or they dawns on them like, oh shit, why did this thing's been standing in front of me the whole time? This is perfect for someone. And actually, I had something that just came across my table, um, and I thought of you. It was 44 room I don't know, assisted living facility, right? It's not my jam. And shout out to Steph Gibson over in California. She hit me up after being in Arizona last week, and she just hit me up like this week, and she's like, "Yo, hey, I got this. I know you'll do shit anywhere." And I always say like, "Yeah, I'll look at anything. I'll look at anything. Doesn't matter." And that's like my team. Like our motto is like, "We'll do a deal anywhere as long as it makes sense." So it was like 44 units assisted living. I'm like, I just came from a place where everyone and their mother, there were so many people talking about assisted living. I forgot everybody that said assisted living because it was like everybody saying it. Well, I'm like, bro, you just said Florida. I'm like, it just needs a creative structure. It needs someone to look into it. So it's like, bro, I'll just pass along that email. Take a look at it, even if it's just an exercise for you to underwrite or look at,
Okay.
stuff like that. So like again, you say it, I'm like immediate Florida deal. Show them. Sometimes we can't look at everything. Sometimes I can't see it all, and maybe connecting puts you now with somebody that you know for this deal potentially,
Yeah,
and then you literally thinking that way, just like freaking domino that you just created for everybody.
absolutely. That's awesome. So I think I'm getting the gist of it, but what would you say is one of your strengths in business?
It's it's evolving. Vision, community, executing, like a lot of that, a lot of the front end stuff. I'm just starting to spearhead now. Let's lead. I'm trying to be a better leader. I know there's so much work I have left, but leading and bringing the right people with me. Now I get to aspire, and I'm being led by by an individual, which like almost daily. I give him praise, and that's Pace. And I'm a man completely okay with that as a man. And there's a lot of people that have problems with that. But yeah, I think leading and having a vision of my own as well. And just trying to like, dude, let's all get wealthy together and let's all have some freaking fun. And that's it. And like, I like working. So let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Now I got to ask the flip side of that. What are your
sure.
weaknesses?
Oh, easy. It's probably now it's the things that I'm not good at. So like, yeah, systems and the integrations and all the things I shouldn't be touching that I'm not really touching anymore, but still struggle with like there's loose ends you still need to pick up in all these businesses and making sure everyone else is doing their thing, right? So you have to know these components to actually be in business as well to know if they're failing. So
Mhm.
now it's bringing the right people around you. But yeah, I'd come into like, I don't care for numbers. I'm good with cocktail napkins. Good. Well, if you want to sit here and do a spreadsheet with me, bro, see you next Tuesday. I am not coming around that. I'm contagious, or that's allergic, I should say. And I like the fine details. Like I just like to move fast and go like, let's talk about how the vision of this is going to look, and let's talk about how cool it's going to be in the positive shit, and let's talk about how we're going to get to that target. All the other little things I'm realizing, no, I don't have time for that. So I need to find the people and the go-getters and the other folks that can support that. Does that make
Gotcha.
any sense? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
No, I get it. You
yeah,
you basically you straight up visionary is what it sounds like.
yeah,
Integrator stuff is just not your forte, and I get it. I'm kind of the same way. That being said, like I will sit here and work on a spreadsheet, and I'll get so determined I'm going to figure something out that I'll just sit here and work for hours. But then when I'm done, I'm like, well, what have I done?
ooh, so good, so good.
So,
So, all right, yes. So a prospectus, I just completed a prospectus. Anyone who's looking at that, think of a slide deck when you're going to give a deal to someone and you're going to ask for money. You put like the deal on like, so Canva is really popular, right? So I have Canva, bro. There's certain things of that really that it's the artistic side of my brain, I think, or wherever that comes from. Like I love creating, but I just had to do like numbers and spreadsheets and stuff. And my partner, Eric Irvine, he's over in California. He's like my capital raising partner, and like he's getting into that realm, but we were like collaborating, and it was a struggle. I'm like doing like, I got all like the data and everything together, like the photos and everything looks sexy. And then we have to collaborate on like the spreadsheets and the numbers and the returns. And I was just like, oh boy. And I'll get it done, bro. But it was not pretty. And Eric and I were joking. We're like, all right, we won. We were successful. We got what we accomplished. We got the deal. Like everything's good. But what did we learn from this? Not to freaking do again, because that was way too powerful. That was way too painful.
Yeah.
So
Man.
we got to do it. You got to roll the sleeves up on some of the shit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. All right. What is something that you need help with that'll make you money in the next 30 days?
Bro, bringing you a deal first. Someone's going to bring you a deal. But if we're going to be selfish and talk, I think it's, I just want to do deals with people, but good deals. I want my team to be able to do deals with folks and help folks, which in turn, everyone wins, right? Like we said, like if Steph sent me a deal, it comes to me. I think of you, you look at it, you're connecting, you're like, oh crap, I know someone who's going to do this. Everyone can win as long as we structure that properly and we're all in alignment. I just want to do deals with people, always looking for private money lenders. We're getting really good at, securing people and doing secure business. We're not out there doing the other shiesty shit that everyone else, well, not everyone else, that people that others need to be wary for. So I'm really proud of the team and the people that I'm surrounded with. So yeah, let's do good business. Whatever that looks like, some bigger deals. If you have bigger deals and you're struggling, maybe we are the ticket for you to get that over the finish line. That's what I would say.
Awesome. Okay, so if somebody has a bigger deal that they're struggling, what's a good way to get in touch with you?
You, bro, they got to go through you first, because this is your shit. This is your jam. And then you got to go, Justin, I don't want this deal. Here you go.
Got
But
it.
how to get a hold of me? I think my Instagram, Real Estate Justin. Guys, my last name's so long, Tuminowski. I couldn't possibly ask you guys to say Justin Tuminowski, and then I had done it my whole life. I can't do it anymore. So Real Estate Justin was like the laziest and easiest thing. Find me on social, and then realestatejustin.com. And there's different ways to like just get a hold of me, hit me up. And again, there's like, let's chat. Let's do business together.
Awesome. Well, Justin, that's all I got. I
Bro.
really appreciate you letting me take an hour of your time. It was valuable for me. I hope it's just as valuable for someone watching this. And my goal is to make it easily more valuable for you being here.
No, and thank you, dude. Corey, you're so good. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for being like a leader in our community, right? So a lot of people need you. A lot of people, I need you, and we don't thrive without it's like what is it? The house of cards.
Mm-hmm.
We need that, and I think ever it's going to be coming even more apparent very soon, where you know the survival of the fittest, those who are doing good business, those like we're going to get stronger and stronger together. And the people you bring on this podcast, like I'm so happy like for the future. Like Pace says, I get to watch, because next thing you know, like the connecting's gonna start happening and all that. Like you and I get to do deals together. That's the exciting part of this whole thing that I had no idea was possible. And I think you understand that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, bro, thank you for being a leader, like for real.
Oh, I appreciate it. Can't get emotional here.
No,
No, I'm
you're
just
good.
kidding. No, I really do appreciate it. And it's surprising. I'll be honest. It's surprising to hear you say that I'm a leader in this, because like I've only been in Sub 2 since October, and I know that the time that you've spent in it isn't
Mhm.
necessarily or doesn't necessarily determine your, I guess, status in a sense. But it's there are things that I haven't achieved yet that I'm still planning on. But to hear, because I hold you in high regard. You're a regional leader. I've seen you, Pace talks about you. I've seen you on your Instagram and stuff like that. And so to hear that from you it's a big deal. I really appreciate it.
No, thanks, dude. Yeah, no, we're all in it together. That's how I look at it. Honestly, we're all in it together. And those who aren't getting what we're doing, get out because we're going to the moon, baby. And our fearless leader is, we're going to get, bro, the plans that are coming and the things that man conspires to excite me. And I wish he would be more vocal about them. But 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 3 years, 4 years. I don't give a shit. You're bringing value that I want to be with, and anyone else who's aligning with you wants to be with. So, that's the cool part that you can show people is that come in and lead, and Pace. That's what he preaches. And dude, you're just getting going. We're all just getting going. But for you now to see those incremental changes where you're like, oh, my family thing now, I got to go back and I got to go focus on the thing that's actually going to make us really, that's going to bring us the financial freedom so we can be a tighter unit.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's cool. That's a cool thing to see in just a short period of time, bro. Your 1 year is coming in October. Like that's freaking awesome. And you have a lot of shit to show for it. And you're only halfway there.
Yeah. Man,
So
I appreciate
kudos
it.
to you. Yeah.
Awesome.
So good, bro. Well, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me. Anytime, anything I do for you, just ask.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll try and make a point to come up to your neck of the woods and check it out. I'm more of a country boy though, so
Bro, I'm up in New Hampshire. This little country up here, it's
okay.
Pace is coming up. I think what we're going to end up doing is so owners club, that those who are part of that owners club initiative, that's around Halloween. So we're going to have a Halloween thing in Boston. It's private, but at the same time, like people can come in here. We're going to have meetups. We're going to all do sorts of things. And I think Paces and I own something together where it's this new church building that we bought. It's going to be a multi-unit boutique hotel up in Maine. So it's like a little over 2 hours from Boston. So I was like, we're renting cars, buses. We're gonna have food truck, the whole ceremony, the whole thing, tour it, kind of like inaugural ribbon cutting. So I'd
Nice.
love to have, like, when it gets closer and we understand what's going on, I'd love to have different people up and just be a spectator for the weekend. Come up and hang out.
Yeah, I'd love
So
that.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Justin, I really appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out so I don't take any more time from you. Yeah, I'll send you the back real quick and close this thing up. Again,
Thanks.
an honor. Thank you so much for being on my
Same here.
podcast.
Cheers, everyone.
Guys, that was my show. Sorry, not my show. That was the show. That was Justin's show. All right. It was awesome. I speechless. Okay. And I feel like I say that maybe a couple times, but I'm still working on that skill to be able to summarize a whole hour's worth of just value. All right. But I'll get there one day. Thank you so much. If you like the show, like and subscribe, even though honestly, I feel like if you actually like the show, I shouldn't have to tell you to like and subscribe. It should be just like, boom, that's what you do. Anyways, any comments you want to leave, things you want to see more of, things you don't want to see more of. If you want to talk about how great the mustache is, that's cool. If you want to talk about how great Justin was, that's awesome. Go follow him, learn from him, and reach out to him. I'm sorry, reach out to me if you got problems, and I'll reach out to him. We'll see if we can do something together. That being said, guys, until next week, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Peace.